Hello everyone, and welcome back to ExQueeriencePoints Starfinder, your favorite all-queer-cast Starfinder podcast. I'm Steph, your resident chief medical mystic. If you love our show, we hope you'll rate and review us on iTunes or wherever you consume your podcasts. Every review brightens our day and helps new listeners to find us. We don't pay to advertise ExQueeriencePoints Starfinder, so we hope you'll recommend us to your friends and just about anyone. Wish you could hang out with all of us at a con? Well, if you become a patron on Patreon, you could make that happen. We're grateful to everyone who has already become a patron. You keep our mics on and our dice rolling, and I'm pretty sure you help us gain advantage in Fantasy Grounds. We've got some great rewards, so check them out at patreon.com/experiencepoints. Stay tuned after the episode for some more exciting announcements. On Experience Points this week, we rejoin the adventure hookers in the crypt of the Evening Tides. What will they learn from their cultist captive? Why were they there? And what secrets were they attempting to prevent our crew from finding? Find out on episode 45, How Necromantic.
Greetings, adventure hookers, and welcome back to Experience Points, your favorite queer Starfinder real play podcast. I'm your host and GM Miyu, and joining me today, as always, is our fabulous cast.
Hi, I'm Kenny. My pronouns are he, they, and I play Absco Cash, whose pronouns are they, them.
Hello, I'm Steph. My pronouns are she, her, as are my character, Eos Nabari.
And I'm Kelric, he, him, as are Angus's. So, pronouns galore.
And Absco, I believe that you had a recap for us regarding last time.
We entered the crypt of the Evening Tide, and would you believe that there were cultists and undead waiting for us? Eos tried to extract truth for them, but needed to mind thrust to shake their confidence and get them floored. Angus managed to glitter bomb and set the floor on fire a couple of times, and my shots were on point and I managed to target some vulnerabilities. The cult leader was another Solarian that Angus took on head to horns. We whittled them down and the cowards went to run. We managed to apprehend one of the cultists before they attempted to silence themselves. Here we are trying to extract information on what exactly the cult was doing here.
And so we pick up right where we left off. In the crypt of the Evening Tides, they captured cultists in a zone of truth.
Can I try something that's a little fudging what the spell does?
Entertain me.
I want to use command.
Okay.
But there isn't a specific command within the spell to force somebody to talk. But I'd like to try.
What? It entertains me. I shall allow it. I believe our cultist gets a will save, yes?
Nope.
No
saves.
Not saves.
I would like to help with the spell.
It actually doesn't say that there's a save.
There's almost definitely a save.
There's almost definitely a save. It's just
hold on. No, saving throw is not there.
Big ass.
Hold on. That can't be correct.
I have the book.
Saving throw will negates.
Yep.
That's what I figured. That's standard command. A 9.
What?
A 9 does not save.
I guess trying this over and over again until we got a failed will save works.
Well, he failed will earlier. Now, how did you know we were here? We were going to be here.
You smell like wet dog!
That was impolite. Are you saying that you could smell us coming?
Your eyes are huge!
This is true. Not exactly what I want everyone to focus on when they first see me. What are you doing here?
Well, I ate a sandwich. I had lunch.
Her. With all the bodies.
Worksite lunch.
You told us you knew we were coming.
Worksite lunch, that's brilliant.
Apparently, I'm the
Yeah,
only one affected by the eating
Y'all aren't
debt.
exactly quiet.
Union break.
Actually, you were the one who announced your presence before we were even here. Who told you we were on this planet? And Eos is going to press her claws into one of his wounds for emphasis.
The cultist is going to inhale sharply through their teeth.
Fuck!
Oozilzillion!
Yes, that's the name.
What about her?
Did you already forget the question you asked me? Because you seem like you already forgot the question you asked me.
No! How did she know? Like,
Wow.
The cultist looks at you.
I was trying to get him to continue. I did not forget my own question. It's like, yes, and?
The cultist looks at you and goes, "Dragons fly."
Absco leans in. Eos, they're already subdued. Do you think we need to take it this far? Your claws are getting a little bloody. Well, I mean, you already have a lot of blood on your fur. I'm just saying, it's. And Absco looks at the cultist, almost with pity in their eyes.
Angus will pull out binders from their pack and say, I do have these. We could just...
That won't make him talk.
True.
He's...
Look down at him. Are you going to talk?
Doesn't look like I got much choice.
Are you going to tell us more about lunch items and food? Or are you going to tell us something relevant to what we want to hear?
How did Uzazillion
Yes.
know we were going to be here?
Dragons fly. Like news.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
That actually does make some sense. We did take out those 2 flying dragons with their connected wolves. So yeah, I can see where gossip about that would happen. Okay. I think we're at a point where we can just put the binders on this person and then, walk them around as we see what everyone had. Maybe there's some written order somewhere. What do you think? Is there more that you think that you're going to get out of them here? How does command work? Is it like only a one statement, you do that thing, and then it's over?
It's a one statement thing. It's only one round.
So, talk.
Mm-hmm.
And they're in a zone of truth. So they only said, they were forced to talk, but only said truthful things.
What did you do while you were here?
I ate an egg salad sandwich.
Okay, with the food.
She reaches like she's going to do it again, like actually like rake her claws down the side of his face.
Angus is like, what the hell? Eos, let's just ask a question here real quick. What did your boss do while he was here? That's the one I care about. You took some shots. You almost killed yourself. We know what you did. What did your boss do while they were here? They were doing some magic-y stuff.
I don't know. You know some magic. Why don't you figure it out?
Well, that's what I'm trying to do. I'm asking you a straightforward question. What did they do? That's trying to figure things out. Thank you very much.
We're not going to do your job and our job.
First they drew some symbols on there, and then they channeled their magical energy into it, and magic stuff happened.
Excellent. What were the symbols?
Well, they're really complicated formulae in a circular pattern.
And what are they supposed to do when magic flows through them?
Activate
Doing what?
magic,
Of what specific sort?
the magical kind.
Specific, I said.
That may be all he knows.
Fire.
Fire.
To burn what? Wait, never mind. I already know the answer to that.
Well, shit.
Do you want to bind him now, or should I knock him out?
Let's do both. I'm more of an anti guy.
All right. clobbers him over the side of the head.
And I bind him.
All right.
Well, shit. So,
Did I frighten you?
no, we've done worse. It's terrible. We're all bad people. It's fine. Well,
I don't usually like resorting to that. However, it seemed to be the only thing to work.
and I have found when we're dealing with that androids people, it just sort of happens, you know?
We don't know yet that 18 sent them.
That's fair. I just look at anything that's an impediment to where we're trying to go as that person's fault.
Well, there are 3 of them. Why don't we split up and search them and see what we can find?
Okay.
If you don't mind, I'm going to start with the leader.
Oh, why don't we all go check out the leader and then spread out, because the leader's where we're probably going to find any information.
All right. Do you want to carry him or should I?
I'll take him.
Oh, excellent, sure.
Are you all right, Epsco?
Yeah, no, that's fine.
I'm just making sure I wasn't actually going to kill him. It's just...
I feel I have a pretty good read on you, but there's a line.
We have crossed it many a time. It's fine. Let's just move forward. You know, it's in the past.
Fine, we're all bad people.
We just have to acknowledge that in the moment we all get pushed to do things that normally we may not choose to do. I certainly wouldn't want to tell my parents about some of the things I have chosen to do. The fishing thing comes to mind right away. My mother would not be proud, nor would my dad.
If it meant that I wouldn't see my parents again, I would tell them everything. All of it.
Sorry.
We know.
In fact, I think I'm recording this right now, and it's going to be sent to them after we're done.
You're the worst.
Oh, I love it.
Enough.
I think I was just concerned as you were learning for the first time that my line is in a different place than yours.
That's totally fair. Honestly, my line was pretty much closer to yours until I started being responsible for people. Now maybe I feel a little less about it, because if someone did this to my people, it would not go well. Anyway, let's go. So we go check out this person. What
Okay,
do we find?
the leader of these cultists find that under their cultist robes made by Cultists Incorporated, for all your cultist needs, they're wearing an Abadar Corp travel suit, silver.
Your hunch was
They
right.
have on them a Red Star plasma pistol,
Ooh.
marked as having been made for Abadar Corp.
Absco, I think this is for you.
Absco will pick one up.
You don't happen to recognize this one as well, do you?
Oh yeah, is this one of your connections?
Yeah, hold on.
So meanwhile, is there anything that we can do to... Did we find anything else, like a spell page with the instructions, you know, where... circle 3 lines that don't intersect, and then an unequal sign plus, 52 minus magic life and fire.
Hey, you know what? Hey, you'll find on the leader a data pad.
I believe this is for you. And
The data pad has no network connections.
Oh.
But it does have a copy of a book.
What book?
And I believe that would be a mysticism check to see if you can figure out what the book is about.
All right, real quick, before you roll, do you want me to help you, or do you want me to do an independent roll? I get a +3, which is not high.
Well, Eos would hand the data pad to Angus, while even though she knows how to use them, thinking that he would get more out of it than her. That's what I had started to say.
Fair. So do I use my computers on it to find out, or does it have to be mysticism?
Or can he roll computers and can I help with mysticism?
Well, computers will tell you that there's a book on there, which when you open it up, there's the book.
Okay.
It's a Kindle.
It's like the only app on there is the book.
So mysticism is what we roll to understand what's in the book.
Yes.
So I think that I have a
decipher
+0
what this is
to
about.
mysticism. So I can help you if you want, or I can roll independently and we can both see what we do to see if either of us knows it. Preference?
No preference.
Then let's roll independent. So if it's handed to me, I'm just going to see what I know. So
Okay.
Great.
if we read it together, we would do 2 independent checks.
Works for me.
And that's a 7. You're 28. Well, I'm seeing words, and I think if I do a search, I can find the symbol they were talking about. It had something about a circle and, 3 parallel. Yep. I think I found the symbol.
Is that a
Wait,
sun?
stop
Is that
here.
a sun over there?
What do I know about it, Miyu?
This is a book about necromancy. Very old necromantic tome that has been scanned and digitized.
So, curious being would like to know, is there a spell in here that we could use on the last living of the evening tide?
Well, there's
I
all
got a
kinds of spells.
28.
The entire book is full of spells you can use on dead bodies.
Okay, I'll rephrase the question. Is there one to bring them back, or to get them, or to summon their spirit so we could talk to them? A spell that I would not have on my own.
Okay. Give me another mysticism check to see if you can decipher. You find an entry for speaking with the dead.
26.
Pretty confident you could cast it. That you could follow the formula and figure it out and make it happen.
That spell. Wait a minute. This is a book of necromancy. I think I can at least bring her spirit here so we can talk to her.
Okay. Just a second, Willow. I mean, Eos. Let me see what I can do here. And I want to use computers to see if there's something in there that says that casting these spells will make you evil. What?
Oh, go ahead, roll your computer's check.
Necromancy is not evil.
It's not 18. It's poetic.
With an 18, you find no digital disclaimers or certificates stating that this will make you evil if you cast it.
Well, I think
But you do see a liability statement.
I don't see anything in here that's a problem, so let's see what you got.
So I cast Speak with the Dead?
Or whatever the spell is.
Yes.
Title of this spell.
I believe Miyu had said it was Speak with the Dead.
Is it? Okay.
That it's a spell for speaking with the dead.
Yeah, what's the actual title?
Tea Party of the Dead.
A spell to speak with the
Speak
dead.
with the Dead. It's a Pathfinder spell that I'm guessing Miyu is modifying to use in this.
Okay.
The question is, how does Saren Ray feel about one of her mystics' necromancy spells from a book of necromancy?
I don't imagine that it would be a problem because there are already necromantic spells that are available to me. I have just elected not to take them, and some of them are at higher levels than I can. So why would that be available to a healer if one of the possible gods of said healer had a problem with it? Am I being obtuse?
I will tell you this. You are a worshiper of Saren Ray. Saren Ray hates the undead. They are an absolute abomination to her. Now, you also know, as an adherent to Saren Ray and a mystic, that depending on how you use some of the spells in the school of necromancy, she's sometimes okay with it, especially if it serves a greater good.
In this instance, it's to find a goddess sharing... Actually, does the crypt say Evelyn on it? I had not asked that. I just realized that. We could be summoning somebody who isn't even an Evelyn.
Yeah, the latest crypt was an Evelyn.
Okay. Because I admit, I expected it to be empty and there to be a portal in it. And that all the Evelyn crypts were empty or just didn't actually have a woman's body in it.
Oh, interesting. I had taken the idea from what you had said that there might be like a secret crypt below this one. And so I had some ideas after you did the spell to see what we could do to figure that out. But I hadn't thought about a portal in the crypt.
So, okay. So the way the spell works is that it would summon their spirit back to their body. I'm guessing they were trying to prevent that. And if that's what they were trying to prevent, that's exactly what I want to do.
So for how long does it say?
A few minutes?
3 questions.
Okay, so it's like the D&D spell. Okay.
Do we need to get them out of the crypt before we cast this then?
I think so, and it only lasts for 3 questions. So
It is very dark.
Okay. This is taking a turn. So is there a way to open this crypt to
I don't know. Did you bring your grave robbing kit?
I brought a repair kit.
You could probably jury rig it to open it up.
Okay, wait. I don't know if Angus is actually taking any action, but
not till you tell him to.
Yeah.
You're the expert here.
You've been told not to open them. Right? I'm remembering that correctly. The dragonkin.
Well, you were asked not to disturb the sacred resting place of.
Yeah.
Like, hey, we're going to let you into the tomb to go root out any bad guys, but don't mess with anything because that's like uncouth.
So
okay.
Angus would look around. I don't see a Boticam on anyone, so if we want to do this stuff, I think we're okay. I mean, cultists.
Yes, but they didn't unseal any of the tombs, and I'm concerned that we wouldn't be able to reseal it in a way that is respectful to their...
So why don't we open a tomb to check that everything was okay, that they didn't actually do anything bad? Wink.
I just have this image of you just saying wink instead of winking.
That's good. Okay.
I don't know if Verthani can actually wink. So
fair point. Let's put the necromancy book on hold for a moment and actually take stock of what's here before we desecrate someone's resting place, because I hadn't noticed that it required us opening it.
Desecration is such a strong word. I think we're verifying that the contents have not been disturbed.
And I will clarify, the spell itself does not require that you open the crypt.
But it brings them back to the body. So how would we talk to them if it brings their spirit back to their body and the body's in the crypt?
You can bring the spirit to the body and the spirit will enter the body. Now, I'm not saying you can talk to them without opening the crypt, but the spell itself will technically work without you opening the crypt.
Yes, but then it defeats the purpose.
So Angus at this point...
Well, that's a personal choice.
...is going to, if you'll allow, attune to Graviton and see if there is a way, using their Graviton abilities, to open without damaging the crypt. So basically, like, can I slide the stone out and then put it right back without damaging anything and let us talk to this person? Being?
The crypts, as you attune Graviton and you begin testing out the gravitational qualities and is there a seam, is there a seal, is there a way to do any of this, you realize that it is magically sealed with magical ice. Bonded to the like completely frozen into the stone that it's each crypt or each resting place is carved out of.
Yes, I don't know how this is going to work. These crypts are all magically sealed already. I don't even know if this person's magic could get through since it's fire and these are stones magically sealed with ice.
Okay, well, let me try something a little different. And she's going to use her one true sight for the day.
So smart.
Okay.
Yeah, so what you got with Absco and Angus will see is her close her eyes and then reopen them, and they're that fun Eve color.
What are you looking at with your true sight?
She's looking at the different crypts. to see what's inside them, to see if she can gauge what the cultists were doing.
Okay, cool. You close your eyes, you open them back up, and they glow silver. Get, well, the equivalent of X-ray vision for a moment. As the ice caps that have been put on these resting places are no longer clouded over, but you can see through them clear, like a glass pane. Inside each of the crypts, named Evelyn, back here in the back, bodies are ash. Except for one you interrupted. That body looks badly burned, but it's not destroyed.
And because it's burned, I can't ask my next question. Damn it.
You can. You just may not get an answer.
I've seen burn victims.
Okay.
So it's hard to be like, do I recognize the body in this?
You recognize it as dragonkin, silver-scaled dragonkin specifically. But this one seems a little bit larger than most dragonkin are today.
I was more looking for, is it Eve?
No, Eve is a straight-up dragon. This is not Eve.
Okay, because she's seen Eve.
Yeah,
So-
no, this is not Eve.
Okay.
Are you going to
It's
look
just-
around for any sort of hidden...
Yeah, and that was going to be my next move, was looking for traps, triggers, secret doorways. If the cultists have anything interesting on them that we couldn't have seen otherwise.
What you see is what you get.
And
This
everything
is a crypt. You see numerous silver-scaled bodies in each of the... each of the crypts has a silver-scaled body in it, except for the ones that have been turned to ash. The cultists are cultists. No traps, no triggers, no secret doors.
Okay. So it looks like the cultists were destroying the bodies. But only the ones labeled Evelyn? Are the other ones undisturbed?
No. Actually, yes. Yes. The other ones are undisturbed. Only ones named Evelyn.
In all of the tombs where the name on it is Evelyn, the body has been cremated. Except for this one. It's been partially cremated, but not completely.
And again, this is back in the older section of the crypt.
What if I go to where the newest one is?
The newest interment of Evelyn Eveningtide is untouched.
Do I recognize them? Or are they also
A
dragonkin?
silver-scaled dragonkin,
Dragon.
much
Okay.
like you would see today.
Okay.
While Eos is moving in and around the crypt, can I roll sleight of hand for Absco to try to figure out if there are any mechanisms around the facing of the crypt or the tomb?
You mean to open?
Sure. So you exit the crypt.
No. On the oldest one that we're sitting at, where the cult leader was.
Okay. Yeah. Go ahead. Be more perception to notice something like that.
Do they have investigate?
Investigate I'd allow that, absolutely.
It looks like they don't
That
have
is
it.
not a Pathfinder or a Starfinder.
Not a.
No.
I thought you had some like specific extra investigation stuff.
I have profession investigator, but that's.
I'd allow you to roll that.
Okay.
If you would prefer instead of perception.
It's a little bit better than perception, but it's 20.
20, you find no mechanisms, no special latches, no secret buttons.
It looks like they had only started with the oldest bodies. But why every Evelyn?
Well, let's just start with the oldest one. Let's see if we can get this one open.
Can I roll mysticism to see if we can manipulate the magic in some way?
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm gonna roll mysticism to see if I can manipulate the magic in some way.
Okay. Eos, your natural one for a total of 12.
Yeah.
Natural one for a total of 12. Come up with the brilliant idea that perhaps a blowtorch. And then you use a frost torch to put it back.
And Angus is 15.
Angus, you're 15. Blowtorch sounds pretty good. I mean, that's how you normally melt through ice, right?
All right, everyone stand back. And
Oh.
Absco pulls out the pistol that we pulled off of the...
I thought you were going to go for high
cult
fire
leader.
breath.
So was I.
Did I use fire breath already? I think I used fire breath. But
You used acid.
I used acid?
Yeah.
And I don't think you've used it today.
No. Okay, fine. Well, I was first gonna try the red solar hand pistol.
Okay. Well,
Okay, as Absco is going to aim, Eos is going to move into their shot.
oh.
We were told not to disturb them. I don't think firing a gun will leave this undisturbed.
They've already been disturbed. We need answers.
but we also should explain to them that we weren't the ones responsible. There is potentially a way to do this so that we don't look like we're the ones who came in here and wrecked all of these bodies.
So, my opinion here is we have the bodies of the people who did it. We have a living member of the group that did it. If you wake them up and they have questions, we show them that we have stopped further desecration, and we can explain the reason they're burnt is because of this fool who is right here dead in front of them.
Yes, but did you see how well he was willing to talk? I don't want to risk us actually causing harm before we can tell someone what is going on here, and then have this be another planet we can't return to.
Yes, they would not be sad not to be able to return here, but I hear what you're saying. Look,
All right.
what is your plan? Tell me your plan.
Well, first I'm hoping, and I'm going on a limb as I don't know their customs here, would be to talk to the gentleman we left at the top of the tomb, or the crypt, and let him know what was going on. Damn it, Miyu!
Adventure hookers. Final status, banned from the Pact Worlds.
Well, so
That has to be our final episode name.
as a peek behind the curtains, I'm going to position it such that Absco is then going to be exploring the universe by themselves.
Okay.
So, I hear what you're saying. Let me pose another question to you, which is how we normally operate. When we have asked for permission in advance, what has happened? Can you tell me something good that has happened when we've asked permission before taking action? That is better than when we have taken action and then asking for permission after, and asking for forgiveness afterward.
Point
We
of
got
order.
Information from the Anacytes.
Point of order. Can you tell me a time that you have asked permission first?
I feel like there was
Yeah.
once.
That's what I thought.
I feel like there was once. Sorry, 40 some odd episodes later. It's a little hard to remember, but I do think...
That's how we got George. It was the best decision we could have ever made.
Oh, that's fair. We asked for George because of his arms.
Yep.
And look at me. Look at this outfit. Stunning.
We'll put a pin in that to ask for more information later. We have more pressing concerns.
I don't disagree with you, Eos. In fact, perhaps we leave the tomb now. We go, we tell them, we bring in the locals to let them see what desecration has happened. And then we let them know what we need.
Yes. Because all Meekmeka told us is that the Dragonkin would help us find her. And since 18 has made it abundantly clear, as she gestures to the lead cultist, Solarian, that her only goal at this point is to kill us and to stop us. And I don't know about the two of you, but I'm a contrary dog. somebody tells me not to do something, that makes me want to push harder, especially in this instance. And it's not just because Eve helped me and gave me an additional ability.
Listen. These cultists were sent here to destroy the bodies. Do we all agree on that?
Yes.
So, we stopped them from destroying one body. Leaving that body, and then going and doing something else, just gives them time to send somebody else. Or for this fool to wake up and find a way to tell people so that they can come and destroy the body before we can get whatever it is we were supposed to get from these bodies.
Can I do a quick thing?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so quick out of game. What I think would be interesting is if Absco convinces y'all that we need to leave, and as Eos leaves the tomb area, then Absco will use either his fire breath or the gun on the tomb. And
I was going to... So... I have an additional idea that I hadn't gotten out. Hadn't gotten out fully. It just occurred to me.
Okay.
So...
But it was more in line with your thinking of when someone tells me no, I push harder.
No, I agree.
Okay.
So if the majority disagrees with this idea that I'm going to have Eos pose, then we tell him what's gone on. He asked for our help because they can't come back in here. We take the live one out to him so their authorities can do whatever they would like to get information about this while we continue to investigate. And that way, they know we're investigating what's happened, and they have proof that it wasn't us. So it's a little bit less of an issue of us disturbing the tombs.
This is obviously a lot more important to you than it is to me. So if that's what you want, then that's fine as long as we don't leave the tomb. That's all I care about, is we don't leave the tomb for somebody else to come in and destroy.
I appreciate that. I just think at this point, we have burned through the last 2 planets we've been to. And this is the first solid lead that we have to actually get ahead of 18. I am sick of being behind her.
Then let's do it. We can talk I think we've talked this to the bone. Let's just do it.
Okay. All right. And Eos is going to haul the unconscious one over her shoulder and start heading out of the tomb or the crypt.
As Eos passes by Absco, Absco turns to the tomb and unleashes fire breath at it.
You couldn't have waited for me to make my way out of the crypt.
Well, what happens?
Yeah.
Well, you unleash your fire breath at the crypt. Melts a little bit.
Absco will use their Glimpse the Truth ability to see. It gives them true sight for like a round, but to see if that made any impact on the seal.
It melted the ice a little bit. Actually, and the particular crypt that you hit, yes, it did create a small gap in the seal.
Absco will turn around and say, I hope you understand that push came to shove in this instance, and we need answers.
I agree.
As you eloquently put it, there's a gap in the seal. We may be able to get the tomb open now.
And that is the exact moment entire seal for the tomb crashes to the ground, shattering into 1,000 tiny pieces.
What?
Right behind Absco. Like, Absco turns around and makes this whole speech, and then just like the whole thing just collapses.
Such a clue moment. Whoa.
Know any ice magic or mending or...
No.
Angus,
I don't.
It's just a gape. It's like,
And I'm guessing this was on the partially burned body?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, yeah. There inside there is a partially cremated, still sort of steaming, larger than average silver scale dragonkin.
I do believe everything's that we were talking about is now a moot point.
No way but forward.
I'm still taking him up there. Continue with what you're going to do.
Well, you see, I don't quite have the skill.
It will take me all of a moment. Well, then you're just going to have to wait a moment.
Can you take this one too? And Absco points at the cult leader.
I don't know that I have the strength to carry them both, but I could try and drag him.
I just have the mental image now of Eos, unconscious cultist on her shoulder, dragging the cult leader by one ankle through the tomb, muttering.
As it goes up the
Can't even wait till I'm out of the tomb to use your dang fire breath.
I'm trying to save our asses, and you're just kind of like, nope, we're doing this. And I'm like, at least let me protect us.
You get to the top of the stairs, and there stands, I named him Mayor Mechmeek.
Yes.
Mayor Mechmeek stands there. Did you find something? What has occurred in this tomb?
She drops the unconscious one into the snow. So I recall it was snowing.
Sure. It is now.
It is now.
It's snowing in the cave now, in the giant cavern.
This is how they grieve the loss of an evening tide. They make it snow in the cavern.
Yes. Ding.
There you go.
There we go. And she's going to kind of turn around to finish pulling the cult leader up. Yes, we found these cultists who mentioned they were here on the orders of Uzillion.
Uzillion has sent cultists here to desecrate the tomb of the evening tides. I thought with the death of the latest Evelyn, that would be the end of that feud.
Well,
but no, of course she had to get one last ha-ha in.
From what we were able to determine, several of the older Evelyns were cremated within their...
Cremating an evening tide? The desecration!
Well, the one in binders is still alive. If you would like to...
Ha ha! Not for long, I dare say. Or perhaps for longer.
I thought you would want to do with that as you will. We're going to continue to investigate to see if they had done anything else. One of the crypts was already damaged during us trying to stop them. Bluff.
Bluff. Bluff.
You knew I had to try. Oh, God.
So it comes out, you meant to say one of the crypts was already damaged, but it comes out a little bit more like one of the crypts was already damaged. We totally did not damage a crypt in there.
I think at that moment, Absco kind of calms up. Hey, so this crypt is just kind of hanging open here. Are you almost done?
Mechmeek just stands there, blinking.
I apologize for my crew.
I think it's okay. We'll seal the crypt from up here. So why don't you have the rest of your come back up and we'll pretend like none of this ever happened.
I will go down there and go retrieve them.
I'd much prefer if you just calmed them.
No, really, it's beginning to smell a bit. I feel like we should get on this.
Absco, come up here, please.
That wasn't in the plans. We're supposed to be down here.
Yes, well, you just said something onto an open comm as I'm talking to the mayor.
Mayor Mechmeek, how are you?
I've had better days.
As you can see by the condition of our crewmate Eos, so have we.
I click on my comm to override, and I jump in on this because I've been hearing it, and I say, Eos, Mayor Mechmeek, we're happy to come up in just a moment, but there are several bodies to clean up and pull out, and we will not leave them here to further desecrate this space. I will need Eos's help to get them all. We will bring them up as soon as we collect them all.
And just as a note for what I want her to say next, how many of the Evelyns were cremated?
hard numbers? What the hell?
And what were their middle names?
You know what?
How many children did each of them have?
18. 18 cremated Evelyns.
Okay. Sir, they had made it through cremating 18 of them. I have the ability called True Sight that was gifted to me by the goddess Evelyn that allowed me to see what these beings had done. And there's still one of them dead down there. All we are trying to do at this point is to figure out what they were doing so that you have...
tell you what they were doing. They were engaging in their feud. The Evening Tides and Uzilzillion have had a feud going for centuries.
Yes, but they specifically came and did this now.
Well, yes, the last of the Evening Tides were dead. Who was going to stop them? Besides y'all.
So you don't want to know why a member of your community's crypt was desecrated?
Oh, we know why.
No, you don't. You've made an assumption. There's more information to be learned if we can figure out what they were trying to hide.
Well, there's always more information to learn. But why don't you just go talk to Uzilzillion?
Because we would like to have some sort of protection before we do that. And the only protection I can think of is to figure out why they were desecrating this crypt right now and why they didn't do it the moment the last Evening Tide died. They waited specifically until we made...
Well, she only died like 2 days ago.
Yes, and this gentleman here, and she's going to kick the unconscious ones in like the boot, specifically said that they were doing this to prevent us from being there. And as I mentioned, I don't know if this means anything to you, the goddess Evelyn.
Not a thing at all.
Can I roll a sense motive on that?
Yeah, I mean, go ahead, yeah.
Because I want to know if he's lying to me with a 24.
With a 24, he has no idea why they'd want to try to stop you from talking to Evening Tides, because they wouldn't have even let you in the tomb if they hadn't shown up. But, you know, I think at this point he's thinking you're one of those paranoid adventurer types that always thinks that everything that goes on is part of some deep conspiracy plot that has to do with you.
Which is not untrue. It's not inaccurate in this moment. I will go and get my crew and attempt to put the tomb that was disturbed back together. You have the ones responsible for cremating them.
I don't think you're going to do that. See, this tomb was made many, many centuries ago, and when you place an Evening Tide in there, the seal forms. It's been broken open. I don't think it'll ever not be broken open, but we'll seal it from up here. I will allow you to go down and retrieve your crew and the dead cultist, but do make it snappy.
All right.
Eos, can you get down here snappy so we can get this done?
And she'll go back down. I feel like this is the GM trying to get us to leave the damn crypt. And we're like,
this is the GM responding to whatever the hell y'all throw at me. You're the one that rolled a 6 on a bluff. I mean,
I didn't roll it. The computer rolled it.
That is fair. The RNG gods have decided to flick you in the nose.
They always flick me in the nose.
They do. But anyway, back down into the crypt you head.
Yes.
Where you find a pile of bodies already collected, just waiting for you to cast the spell so we can see if anything comes of casting the spell. We're all set to go. If you are going to do this, then now's the time. If not, then we should head out.
Did you open all of them?
No, the cultist bodies. All of the cultists in a pile. To take that.
There's just a pile of dragonkin, like one of these are down to come back.
Oh, there was one corpse.
There were all of the zombies, and there were like 6 zombies that we destroyed, as well as 2 other cultists that we had to fight. So they're all in a pile for us to take up.
I thought there were only 3 of them. I apologize.
There's a ton of them.
There were 3 at the lower level and the leader.
Yeah.
So, or 5 of them and the leader, I think. I don't know. But
There were a few cultists, a bunch of zombies, and a leader.
yeah, I have all of those that are left piled up, ready to take up as soon as you cast the spell, and we get what we're going to get out of that.
All right,
But
let's
the time
do this.
She is a ticking.
Yes. And I'm going to cast the spell. Can I have the data pad, please?
Oh,
Or-
absolutely. Here you go. You don't have to
Thank you.
cast it.
At this point, it's rather moot at this point.
I look
I don't
at
think-
Abscale. We had a plan.
It seemed to be the best way forward, in my estimation.
Yes, and
But-
all you had to do was not calm me while I was up there.
It was
I was
beginning to
trying-
smell.
It's tactics. She's already been talking to us about tactics, and you ruined the tactics. Let's pull it together and move forward.
Yes.
Okay. Magic time. Might start sparkling a little. I love magic.
You begin the incantations. Feel your magical energy flowing out of you, and you see the holy fire of Sarenrae caressing the corpse. And as you get toward the end, this holy fire gets kind of this black tinge to it.
Uh-oh.
And as you finish, the information on the data pad holding the spell disappears. And the body, crypt, sits up. Why have you called me forth?
Find the goddess Evelyn Eveningtide. Do you know where we can find her?
Yes.
Damn it.
Can you tell me?
No. Stop. The answer of a can you is always yes or no. Oh my
The
god,
question's
no.
already been asked.
No. You said can you, and then you stopped.
Okay.
Rewind. Zip. You
Angus stopped you before you got the question out, so.
Fair point. Angus?
Quick confab. So perhaps the question is not a question, but a directive, which would be
Where can we find?
tell us how to find the goddess Eventide and get to her without dying. Does that sound right? Do you see any flaws here?
Ask the question.
I think you have to because you cast a spell, right?
Anyone can ask the question.
Anyone can ask it.
The soul's in the body now. It's done. The spell is cast.
I'm afraid if I start talking, I'll ask about donuts. And I don't want to ask about donuts.
I'm afraid I'll get the wording wrong.
Abskull, why don't you do it? You're an investigator. You know how to ask questions.
Yeah. All right. Sure.
Don't
I can do this. I won't. I won't.
Oh, God.
Um,
I turn and I ask the question as I worded it earlier.
why don't you RP that?
Now, what you gave was a statement, a directive, an imperative.
Yes.
And so the dragon can... No. Every time someone wants to talk to a dead person, they always bring them back and want to ask them about going here and finding that. No one ever asks, how are you? How's life? What's going on?
Because if we ask anything like a question, then you answer it and you're like, oops, and I'm gone. If you answer the questions, then we'll get to that. Because absolutely, we would love to chat with you.
You know, you could just say, please.
Oh, was it
Please.
please not in there? Oh, it was definitely meant to be.
Please,
Well, it
madam.
wasn't. And no, it wasn't. That's two.
What? What question? I didn't say, was it? I said,
You said, was a please in there?
this is why nobody talks.
And then you asked what? Nah, I'll give it to you. She laughs and goes, I'm just yanking your chain. Well, see, what you have to do is you have to go to the caldera. And, well, there's a portal there that will take you to Evelyn's homeworld. Her little neighborhood, shall we say.
A personal dimension. Sure. I look at Eos and I say, should their last question be how to reseal this?
Is there a way to put you back to rest? The tomb back together?
Yes.
Well, if you don't want to tell
And with that, the Evelyn sitting in there waves, snaps her claws, and falls back onto the slab as the ice reforms.
Okay.
Oh, thank goodness.
I feel so much better. Well, it seems like all of this was interesting enough. Just telling us to go to the caldera as everyone kept telling us not to do. So maybe we just go to the caldera because we're contrary beasts.
I suppose that's what we can do next. Let's take them out of here, shall we?
Funny thought. They're very heavy, right?
The mayor had requested we take them out.
I'm not saying we don't. I'm saying maybe we find a way to compress their bodies into a bag as, I don't know, ash.
You just want to explode since you've already started to attune, don't you?
Blink, blink. Innocent look. Maybe. I'm just trying to think of fun ways we could help. You know what? It's fine. And I attune to graviton and I just super jump up the stairs and
You were already attuned to graviton.
yeah, so I just start grabbing and jumping and grabbing and jumping and jumping. I'm doing a lot of jumping, moving bodies. So you don't have to, because I am a giver.
I'm trying to get the mental image of the noir with like this black aura all around him, just like leaping up entire staircases in a single bound while holding like two zombies by the one ankle each, boing.
And zombie guts
Boy.
and sparkles falling behind me. That's real pretty.
Like intestines flailing in the wind behind you.
Like strippers, but gross.
There we go.
I wish I had prestidigitation.
Yeah. I may take that.
How do you play a caster without that?
It's so difficult.
Because I didn't think there was one in Starfinder.
Token spell, I think.
I don't know if there is.
There is.
It's
Is it?
token.
Is it in there?
Yeah.
It's token spell.
I didn't realize token.
Okay.
was the same thing. Anyway.
Well, you get them up the stairs.
Okay, Governor. Here's your stuff, Macmeek.
Very good. Now, I have one last favor to ask you.
What would that be?
Would you all please leave and never come back?
Considering we got the tomb resealed for you.
You did.
Yes.
Yes.
Hmm.
Would you like to go and
Okay.
check?
Well,
I pull out a digital pad that has a photo. See? It's all fixed. Better than when we left.
okay.
When we entered.
Then would you do me a slightly different favor? Would you please leave and not come back for a while?
As long as we're not banished, I think that's fine.
Oh, no. We never banish anybody. We very politely ask you to leave and never come back.
Or only for a little while. We can arrange that. Thank you so very much. Our best to your town, city, cave, place that's snowing. By the way, it's just lovely here.
Yes, it is. And we only want the loveliest people here, and that is not you.
Oh, look at my outfit.
It is quite garish. You can tell he meant that as a compliment.
It's pink and black, mostly black. Think Tron, black with pink outline and sparkle.
Yes, it is quite garish. Very 3780.
Nice. Okay. Well, we were hoping to sleep somewhere before we had to leave, but okay.
Oh, you're welcome to sleep anywhere outside of here.
We just need to get our guide.
Oh, is that still a thing?
Do you know how to get to the caldera?
Oh, I'll show you.
Oh, thank you so very much.
Takes you out to the entrance to the cave, and he points northwest, and he goes that way.
Is there a method of conveyance to help us get there?
I would suggest flying.
Do you have something to help those of us who aren't able to fly? AKA,
I would suggest a ship.
have you got one that we can borrow?
No.
Or have?
No.
Hmm.
We generally fly anywhere we want.
Do you have a landing pad for a ship?
Not here, no. See, we land over there, and he points toward where you guys came from. He goes, and then we fly over here.
Do you have some donkeys we could buy?
We do have donkeys.
And with that,
That's a good place to end.
And with that, Meekmek shows up, and you just hear, well, hot damn! Someone finally figured out them donkeys worth riding. And that is all the time we'll have for today. For Experience Points, I'm your host and GM, Miyu. You can find me on Twitter at MiyuPlaysGames.
I am Kenny. You can find me on Twitter at Punderdrone.
I'm Steph. You can find me on Twitter at Luna Starwind.
And I'm Kelrick. You can find me on Twitter at Cormelon or at EQ Points.
And we'll see you next time. Bye.
Thank you for listening to Experience Points Starfinder. If you're looking for more Starfinder podcasts in your life, we recommend checking out our sister podcast, Roll to Fail. They are 5 friends who have no business behind the mic or rolling dice. If you like what we've created, then you should check out the other 2 podcasts on our network. Humanera releases every other Friday, with Kelrick stepping into the GM seat for this adventure utilizing Numenera, a system by Money Cook Games. This unlikely team is working for the Order of Truth to help communities under the influence of the strange and weird effects of Numenera. They may even actually help people if they would agree on something. What could possibly go wrong? Pun Times is a collection of limited run campaigns of smaller TTRPG systems and games. The inaugural game is Slasher from Higher Grounds Games. Mark your calendars and be sure to catch our final session, streamed live on the Experience Points Twitch on Monday, April 15th at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. Don't want to wait that long? You can catch Session 2 on demand on our Twitch in the meantime. And coming at the end of April, the campaign will be released as a monthly podcast. Stay up to date on all 3 Experience Points Network podcasts at EQ Points on Twitter and on ExperiencePoints.com. Pardon our dust as Kenny continues updating the website. It looks better and better with each passing week. Until next time, adventure hookers.